Hey everyone. I have this is one of our small greenhouses I've been working in here today. This is our other small greenhouse. These was two of the original ones that we purchased that were not DIY units. I've made and had some DIY units over the years. Me and Tiffany has done a couple. The first one was more me than her. She wasn't that interested. But we've had some other ones over the years that we've built ourselves, makeshift. But these two we purchased. This one was put up 1 year before this one was. Bought at the same time, just didn't get time to put them both up. So this one, which we call greenhouse number 1, is Tiffany, if you want to show them, that is our greens. So we got lettuces and
herbs,
got some peas,
hot soy,
started,
beets, and romaine lettuce, radicchio, mizuna back there,
radishes,
kale, radishes, lettuces,
radishes have to come out.
And bok choy, the purple lady back there, and some more kale, and mustard greens, and collard greens, and corn salad, which has become one of our favorites. It's actually a very good green. The Chinese yod fod, some beautiful butter crunch heads, and some smaller ones growing. And our peas are starting to bloom, so hopefully we'll have a few little peas soon. And then some carrots that have started. They seeded themselves from last year, and some horehound and asparagus we still got to plant.
And over here, this is a DIY tunnel we put together this year because we needed, last year technically, because we needed some extra growing space for our peppers for a season extension. And so we turned it into a lettuce house this year, and kale and so forth, so it's greens. And we got beets right there that we've been harvesting greens off of. We'll be harvesting beets shortly. I'll be watering this in the morning, so it's looking pretty good. We had some damage from our cats early on, so right now the cats seem to be behaving. If they don't, we're going to have a talk. So right now where we're at, people ask all the time. They want to know what we do for the tomatoes, how we grow them. What we got here, this is if you watched our other videos, if not, be sure to go back and watch those videos. But we've got a video on how we made this bed. We tilled in fertilizer and composted cow manure, all organic Daddy Pete stuff, and planted these tomato plants. We got a variety in here. Most of these are greenhouse varieties, but there's a couple that's not. But Tiff, if you'll step down here. So tomatoes are more of a vine than they are a plant like a tree type. Even though, as you see here, they start out growing up. Well, this is what happens when they decide they've got big enough. They fall over. So that should have been caught already. Haven't had time to fix these. So Tiffany will come
and
out.
if you lay it down on the ground and lay it or leave it there, it will actually root to the ground where it's laying.
That one's already starting to try. It's been there for a few days. No, it hasn't. So it would have been. But Tiff, come right down here. Let's get a little closer and show them what we got. We use these tomato clips. There is other ones out there. There's some clear ones, and you can use them, and there's different diameters. You know, if you're using doing a lot of small tomatoes, like cherry tomatoes that have very small stems, you'll want the smaller ones. We use these because the majority of what we grow is going to be a beefsteak type tomato.
We will also tell you we have tried the clear ones.
Yeah, we hate them.
And the clear ones are absolute junk. If you make it through a season with them, you're doing really good.
But we don't want to pull this string, but we do want to take the slack out of it. And then this right here, see these little hooks? Show them right here, Tiffany. Them hooks go around the string, and then when you clip it and it latches in, that keeps it from sliding up and down the string. So we're going to put 2 on this one. 1 would have done the job, but I overkill a little bit. what you're going to do during the season is basically come in here. Now, see, I started to put one up here, but I'm not going to. This limb has not started to lay over yet. So I'm going to put this one down here. Because I wanted to on it. And I've already came through and done some pruning on these, but this leaf is touching the ground. And I don't like that, so we're going to go ahead and take the end of that leaf off. And no better time than the present to get rid of weeds. If you see them, you get them. So, it's not hard. It's not complicated. And all you need to do is set you up a schedule and come in once a week and trellis them. And that's what this is called. This is called trellising. Now, this is designed for lowering and leaning. And these are not intended for me to lower and lean, but this is a good way to trellis them. And Tiff, if you'll show them up top, you can get a good view. That's our roller hooks up there. And the roller hooks, you squeeze them and it'll let more string out if you want to lower and lean. Or you can roll them up and take up less string. So I just moved them from greenhouse number 1 where we had our tomatoes for the last 2 years. And I did not want tomatoes in there again this year. That's why we made it all lettuce. And so we moved them over here where we've never had tomatoes. There's never been a tomato planted in this soil. So we got to get these trellised and taken care of.
And I want to step over here.
The mud tip.
Yeah.
And we are in zone 7A, technically 6B/7A. We actually have parts of our farm that probably qualify for 6B and parts of it for 7A. So we're slightly on a hill, and then we have a field that sits in a valley. So that valley definitely has tendencies for 6B. But up here where we're at right here is more like 7A. But that being said, we still can't plant tomatoes outside for probably 4 to 7 more weeks. And these guys have already been in the ground, what, 2 weeks now, Tiffany, I think?
I think a little bit longer than that.
So we may be getting up to about 3 weeks on these. So these guys have been in the ground a little bit, so that gives us a big head start. So we're already 3 weeks ahead of schedule with that, and we got at least 4 more weeks before we could even think about planting a tomato outside, and probably more like 5 to 7 weeks. So we're getting we're gonna have these tomatoes 2 months early. Now this isn't a lot of plants, but this is enough for a small farmer's market, and this will make our customers happy. This will make us happy, but it'll make our customers happy because we'll be able to provide them tomatoes, local, organic, not organically grown, just organic, certified organic. They are organically grown, but that's a play on words. But these are organic tomatoes. Everything that's been done here is organic. The seeds were organic. The soil that they were started in is organic. Everything about them is organic. And so that's what we're working towards here. But our customers will enjoy these in their Farm Fresh produce boxes. We do a weekly Farm Fresh produce box that has no commitment whatsoever. The customer can buy that at any time they want to during the week, and we prepare it and have it ready for them on 2 different days of the week, and that works out very well for us and for them. So if they're going to be out of town for one weekend, they may not want a box that week, and then we've also got customers that if they're going on vacation, they want 2 boxes so they can take them with them on vacation. So that's pretty cool, and I'm picking weeds while I'm talking, by the way. And but we've also got customers that if they got company coming in, they'll want extra. So they'll buy 2 boxes, or they'll buy a large box and a small box, or they'll buy the regular produce box and then add on top of it. They may want 5 pounds of tomatoes on top of their regular produce box because that's what they are expecting to need for the week. Or maybe they decided they want to can a few quarts of tomatoes during the year. But we can fill these up in our produce boxes and get them to our customers roughly about 8 weeks early. And it can be as high as 12 weeks early because it depends on what the weather does out in your garden. You could be seeing them about 12 weeks early. So that's because they'll grow faster in here because the weather's consistent. Tiffany can show you, this is what we heat with. It's propane. Next year will probably be natural gas in here, as well as the high tunnel we're putting up. It'll be a twin wall poly high tunnel, it'll be heated with natural gas, and we'll do a propane backup on it. This one's propane with a electric backup. Next year it'll be natural gas with a propane backup. And that's just because you don't want to lose your whole crop. These tomatoes are quite a bit of money, but right here behind us on these shelves is plants for our garden and plants for our customers that purchase off of us. And there's thousands and thousands of dollars back here that we just can't afford to lose, so we have to heat it. Well, Tiffany, let's show them one more. Let's show them this one here in front of you. Let's show them
the problem child.
And this is why this fell over. This is a Sun Gold
Select.
You know, I got Select on one side marked out.
Ah.
So that's either a Sun Gold or Sun Gold Select. But they have a very vining habit. They are not very strong plants.
They produce profusely.
Yeah, they focus on production, not on strength. So we're going to tie that there. We're going to get another one. We're going to come up here and put another one on this. And then we're going to do one more. And tomatoes, you can be a little rough with them, but if you get very rough, they'll let you know it. They'll break. And just like with this one, we're going to have to be gentle pulling this back over and give it time. They'll fix themselves because they'll reach for the sun. And so the sun's not down here, it's up there. So it'll fix itself and start to grow up towards the top of this greenhouse, which is all we need out of it. Now, we have a large sucker here, and we're going to take that off. And what we're going to do with it, though, because these will all be single stem, you've got to keep them pruned to single stem. Now, you can do a 2-stem system or even a 3-stem system, but you have to be set up for it. These were planted and designed to be single stemmed, so you have to be heartless. You have to keep these things pruned. And this baby is producing some tons of suckers. Now we're going to let some of these suckers grow because we're going to take them off this plant and propagate off of them. So like I said, this one here, this big one, I'll go ahead and cut that one off. And you can see how big that is. We will root that. Me and Tiffany will take that in the house. I'll take that little limb off of it down there, and we'll take this one off of it up here. And so this is what we'll root. We'll put that down in a pot, and that'll root. And that'll be way ahead of anything that we would seed today. And that's really handy on expensive seeds. This isn't expensive. It's just we won't have enough of these before the year's out. We will be out of them. So I'm going to let a couple of these suckers grow just a little bit more. And we'll propagate off of them like I said. And this plank's going to look a little funny for a few days. I'm going to take this bottom one off. But this plant will look funny for a few days as it straightens itself back out. And it'll look good. But I think that's it. If you got any questions, comment below. If you like what you saw, comment below. If you got a video you'd like to see, comment below. We'll talk about it and see what we can do. Hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this helps you garden better. That's what we're here for, is to show you our passion and what we do, and to help you garden better with what you grow at your house, and show you what you can do. I mean, if you can afford one of these greenhouses, you can grow stuff in it. But that being said, we grew stuff in a makeshift greenhouse that we built out of old windows and old storm door and some plastic and this and that for years. I do advise, if you're going to do that, go ahead and spend the money on the greenhouse plastic. It costs a little bit more money, but when you're buying the small ones, the small pieces of plastic, they're not that much higher. And when you get into the big rolls, it gets expensive. You can buy the plastic at Lowe's, but you won't get more than a year out of it. So anyway, thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. God bless you.